Good morning. Welcome to another morning forecast discussion. Now it's December. It is December 1st, 2011, the last month of the year 2011. And it is 8:06 a.m. and it is pretty chilly out there. Temperatures range from the upper 20s over the northwestern interiors like the Hudson River Valley around Poughkeepsie, back through northeastern Pennsylvania, to the mid-30s along the immediate coast. And when you compare these temperatures to what we've been dealing with lows in the 40s and 50s and highs in the 60s, it feels like we're in the northern tundra because, well, we have a northwesterly wind around 5 to 15 miles per hour, and it's actually cold out. So it feels a lot worse than what it actually is. We're pretty much near normal for this time of year, maybe slightly below normal in a few spots, but otherwise we're pretty much where we should be for this time of year. And as a result, because we haven't felt that way, felt these type of temperatures for a couple of weeks now, since ironically October 28th, well, it's a big shock to the system. So make sure you bring a coat and bundle up a bit because you're not going to be used to these type of temperatures. Moving forward, you can see high pressure is in control. An excellent day is on the way. We do have a bit of a pressure gradient, which is producing these breezy weather conditions right now. However, notice that the pressure gradient starts to really slacken as we move over central Pennsylvania, and that will eventually take hold by this afternoon. So look for the breezy conditions this morning to slacken off, and a rather pleasant afternoon, if you could deal with the cooler temperatures, can be expected. Now, the infrared satellite picture is pretty interesting, and the reason why is that we have this high pressure system here. It will slowly drift to the east and move off of the mid-Atlantic coast by tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, we have another cold front here. This cold front will be a reinforcing shot, so no, we're not really significantly warming up. We're just, let's say, having a little break in the near normal weather conditions. And then our wind's going to shift off to the southwest on tomorrow afternoon for a very short period of time. We'll warm back up to around 50 degrees, maybe hitting 53 in portions of southern New Jersey. And then our cold front will move through tomorrow evening with a few isolated, and I stress isolated, showers, most likely around Connecticut and the Hudson River Valley rather than any portions of the New York City or Philadelphia metropolitan areas. And then another cold front, which you can see right on the edge here. Another high pressure system, should I say, which is right on the edge here. Let's see if I can pull this. There we go. That one right there. That will take hold for tomorrow night on through this upcoming weekend, providing excellent weather conditions. Sure, colder than what we've been dealing with, but at least dry and comfortable. No strong winds, nothing of the like. So let's take a look at the model guidance. We're going to use the European model guidance today. The reason why is because the GFS model guidance, which I've been showing a few times, has gone completely off the deep end and isn't even worth using for today. Perhaps tomorrow it will improve, but I doubt it. The GFS right now is just completely wrong. It's physically wrong. So we're going to use the European model guidance for today. And here we are right now with our high pressure system in control. Notice our 850 millibar temperatures are still above freezing, and it's still pretty chilly out, which tells you a lot when we're moving forward into the forecast. Now, again, high pressure is going to be in control tomorrow evening. That cold front is going to be off the coast by, I say, about 8 p.m. tomorrow, and high pressure is going to be building in. So again, any threat for a shower will be extremely isolated, but you can see the lifting supporting it right here moving through New England. So you could understand why there is an isolated threat, but not really anything significant. Otherwise, high pressure is in control throughout this entire weekend, providing comfortable weather conditions. Again, our temperatures will rebound into the lower to mid 50s for highs for this weekend. We could even see like a 57 possibly, or 56 over portions of the Philadelphia metropolitan area. But for the most part, really no significant weather to speak of. And then for next week, we start to get this cold front slowly bleeding to the east. Arctic air invades the northern plains, and that Arctic air will slowly push towards the east. As we move on through the week, we're going to be dealing with scattered showers next week as this cold front boundary slowly approaches and a wave of low pressure develops along the cold front around the Tennessee River Valley. Now this storm is going to be interesting to watch because what's going to happen is it's going to drive to the northeast. Don't worry, it's all rain. There is no threat for any snowfall with this low pressure system. But it's going to mark the change to where we're going from above normal to near normal to below normal. And what I mean by that is that this Arctic air is going to make its inroads into the Great Lakes and into the northern plains. Meanwhile, a colder polar air mass is going to finally push into the northern mid-Atlantic. And if we push into the extended here and jump forward, you can see how this pressed down into the northern mid-Atlantic. We'll go at 8, this is 850 millibars. You can see we have polar air, edge of the Arctic air, and then some really cold air in the northern plains. And this is typical of an east-based La Nina. It kind of bleeds in, and the heart of the Arctic air builds in the northern plains and bleeds to the east, and you can see that becoming established. Now remember, today is pretty chilly, and the 850 millibar temperatures are about maybe 2 degrees Celsius, which is above freezing. Now we're moving into a weather pattern by next week where the 850 millibar temperatures are below freezing. And oh, by the way, our pattern change is well on the way. We're clearly far different in this weather pattern than what we were a week ago, or well, basically around Thanksgiving, where we had a huge trough here and a ridge in the east. Now we're starting to establish a polar vortex that is going to start to slowly drop south over the next few weeks. We have a ridge around the Gulf of Alaska, trough around the Aleutians, so we got a trough, ridge, and this type of pattern here leads to this, eventually dropping south, and that leads to a much colder weather pattern, and we're stepping down towards that weather pattern. I'm just adding this little bit of tidbit because all my premium members know this. I've been saying this since about early November that we'll be going through a step down process into winter, and just so I can calm down some of the hype out there and some of the worry that we're going to have a warm winter, you can clearly see if you use the right guidance and you understand what's going on in the atmosphere, which leads you to using the right model guidance, you can clearly see we're stepping down towards our winter pattern. And pretty much this right here is textbook for an east-based La Nina. So that is your forecast for today. I hope everyone has an excellent start to December. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Of course, you can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a wonderful day.